Hi, I'm Scott Flowers with Cloud Ninjas. Today we're going to continue our series on the Dell PowerEdge R360 Server. In this video, we're going to specifically focus on memory. Let's get going. Hey, thanks for stopping by today. It's a little bit more about the Dell PowerEdge R360 Server. Do us a favor, find anything that helps you in this video, click that like and smash that subscribe. All right, so here's what we're going to do in this video. We're going to go over the different speeds, the different sizes, which might be a little different than Dell's spec sheet. We're going to go over the different types, and then at the end, we're going to show you how to install them and what DIMM slots to put your memory in if you're not using all 4 DIMMs. So, hey, let's just go ahead and hop into all the fun stuff. All right, so let's get into just the general information. So first off, it takes DDR5 memory. There are 4 DIMM slots inside. There are 2 DIMMs per channel, and that's actually really important because that brings us to what speeds does it take. Well, it takes 4800 or 5600, but realistically there's not any incentive to buy the 5600 if it costs you more. Now, because 4800 has technically gone EOL and the manufacturers are really kind of pushing everyone to 5600, it might just be what's out there, and that might be just what you buy. But the 5600 is going to clock down immediately. It's not going to run at 5600, and let's talk about that. What speeds do they run at? Well, depending on if you're putting in a single rank module or a dual rank module will depend on the speed, and depending on if you're putting in 1 DIMM per channel or 2 DIMMs per channel, and most of you guys are going to want to use all 4 DIMM slots, and you're going to put in 2 DIMMs per channel. So in that case, if you're using a single rank module and you put 1 DIMM per channel, it's going to run at 4400 speed. If you put 2 DIMMs per channel, it's going to run at 4000 speed. Whereas with dual rank, it's going to be 4400 for 1 DIMM per channel, but all the way down to 3600 for 2 DIMMs per channel. So most of you guys, what you will actually get is 3600 because all the 32 gigs and the 48 gigs and the 64 gigs that are coming out, everything is dual rank. So that being said, you realistically are going to be using dual rank modules, and you're probably going to be running at 3600 speed because you're probably putting 2 per channel because you're going to want to max this out with only 4 DIMMs. All right, well, let's talk about the sizes. You can go as low as a 4 gig? Are people still using 4 gigs? You can go as low as a 4 gig, an 8 gig, a 16 gig, a 32 gig, or, spoiler alert, we kind of mentioned it back during the speeds, all the way up to a 48 gig. And I wouldn't be surprised if you can also put in the 64 gigs. I'm waiting on our samples right now to come in from Micron so that we can test them and validate it. But we did earlier play around in the lab, and we threw in 4 48 gigs and got up to 192 gigs, and it was working just fine and humming along. So if you were wondering, hey, hopefully that's something that helps people out there, that yes, you can put in 4 48 gigs and get all the way up to at least 192 gigabytes. And again, if you've tried the 64 gigs, do us a favor and drop a comment down below, but I bet you the 64 gigs will work. We just haven't had time to validate it before we were doing our series, so I wanted to just throw that out there that we did at least validate the 48 gigs. And on the spec sheet from Dell, as of right now at least, it shows 128 gigs is the max using 432 gigs. So it's a little surprising that Dell's 16th gen is outdated already, but doesn't surprise me. What type of RAM can I use? Well, you can use 2 types of RAM. Now, Dell's spec sheet only shows 1. Yeah, I get it. Dell's going to tell you that you can use ECC Unbuffered, and that is right, you can. But you can also use, wait for it, non-ECC Unbuffered, which is why I really want to test that 64 gig when it comes in to see if it will work, and I fully suspect it will. But yes, you can use non-ECC Unbuffered, which is technically a desktop module. I get that, and that's why Dell doesn't want you using it. They want you using ECC Unbuffered, but non-ECC Unbuffered will work just fine. ECC registered does not work though. So ECC registered is out. If you were thinking, hey, I can go grab some 64 gig, 128 gig, 256 gig DIMMs that are ECC registered, unfortunately, no. That'd be great, but you're going to be stuck with ECC Unbuffered or non-ECC Unbuffered. Those are your 2 types of modules. All right, so let me sum it all up. So the max you can get is 192 gigabytes using 4 48 gig ECC Unbuffered memory modules, DDR5 memory, of course, and that is the current max. Now, again, I would love someone to drop a comment down below once you've tested the 64 gigs, and I will as well. Once we get them in our lab coming here soon in a week or 2, I'll drop a comment down below as well, and I'll let you guys know an update. But as of now, 192 is the actual max. Okay, so now that we know a little bit more about the speeds, the types, the sizes, all that good stuff, we're going to show you how to physically install them. And again, just in case you're not putting in 4 DIMMs, we're going to show you which slots to start with. But before we do video, I'm going to grab my ESD gear because, of course, we want to be safe. Be right back. All right, I have my ESD gear. We are safe to work on our machine. I always like to lay out, hey, what do you need? Do you need a screwdriver? Do you need a rag to clean with? Do you need a blowtorch? I mean, what do you need? So no tools necessary. So we're just going to toss this to the side, pop our latch, lift up our top, and boom, we're inside. So this is going to be pretty easy overall. When you get here, all you're going to need to do is remove your air baffle. Real simple. It's not locked down. You just lift it straight up, and that's it. And on the air baffle, you're going to see everything is labeled. It's going to show you A1, A2, A3, A4. It's very, very simple as a whole. And so you can see right back here right now, there's a couple of 16 gigs in there. So we're going to swap them out and put some 32 gigs in for this specific build. So let's show you how to do that.
Hey, this is Mason with Cloud Ninjas, and today I'm going to show you how to remove your old memory and install some new ones into your Dell PowerEdge R360. As you can see, these are our DIMM slots over here. There are 2 DIMMs per channel. They're color-coded white and black, white indicating it being a primary channel, and black indicating it being a secondary channel. So let's go ahead and show you how to properly remove these memory modules. First thing you're going to want to do is go ahead and unlock these latches in the front and in the back. You can do it at the same time, and that'll allow the memory module to come up from its place. We're going to do that for each one of these memory modules, one at a time, being as gentle as possible. Once all those latches are unlocked, you can go ahead and safely remove these DIMMs out of the way and just set them into the side into a tray. Alright, so now you have a more clear point of view of the DIMM slots over here. We're going to go ahead and label these in what order you should be slotting these memory modules into the DIMM slots. So right here we have A1, that's going to be the one. This is a A2, A3, and A4. And that's going to be the proper order of the memory modules that you'll install into your Dell PowerEdge R360. So now let's go ahead and actually show you how to install these memory modules. Alright, so I have this memory module, and you'll see this notch in the middle right here, and it should line up to this middle line in the DIMM slots. It's very important that you make sure that that notch lines up, and then you'll be all good, because you don't want to damage the leads on that memory module. So just pay really close attention to that notch, making sure that it's in the correct way, so that way you're not damaging any leads. Alright, so you're going to go ahead and slot it, and you're going to push down on both these sides. Now most of the time you'll notice that one of the latches isn't fully holding the memory module, and this is important because whenever you turn on your server, your memory module may not be recognized. So it's really important to make sure that those latches are actually pushed in. So we're going to do the same thing over here, just using 2 fingers to push that down, making sure we hear the clicks. And as you can see, we need to make sure that we hear those clicks and make sure those latches get pushed in. Now those latches are securely holding the memory module in place. We're just going to double check and make sure it's holding it. Alright, looks all good. So this is going to be the configuration if you're only installing 2 memory modules into your Dell PowerEdge R360. Alright, now that we installed those 2, we're going to go ahead and fast forward and show you what it looks like when all the memory modules are installed into your Dell PowerEdge R360. So this is what it will look like when you have all 4 memory modules installed into your Dell PowerEdge R360. Hey, do us a favor, leave a like and smash the subscribe. And if you're looking for any custom-built Dell, HPE, Supermicro, IBM, Cisco, Gigabyte, AMD, we do it all. We have both new and refurbished. So please give us a call or leave us an email at sales@cloudninjas.com. That's sales@cloudninjas.com. Anyways, thanks for stopping by, guys.